The book Uncle Tungsten was written by a well-known neurosurgeon named Oliver Sacks. Now, the story takes place during his childhood, around 1930-1940s. Now, as a child, Oliver Sacks grew up in England. And just like almost any other child, he asked many questions, most of which were about chemistry and most of the metals around him. For example, he was very interested in his mother's wedding ring, the gold, which was surprisingly heavy for how much metal it was, and the diamond, which was very, very condensed carbon. Or the lights of Hanukkah, some of which were brass, except with the exception of his father's, which was silver. Or the lawnmower they had, which was made of iron, which rusted most of the time. Now, though both his mother and his father were physicians, they could answer young Oliver's questions most of the time. But when things got a little complicated, they both pointed towards his uncle, Uncle Dave, more known as Uncle Tungsten throughout the story. Now, Uncle Tungsten has been working with tungsten so much that his hands have become black through working with it. Now, he owns a light bulb company, which most of the filament is made of tungsten. He adored tungsten's strength and its high melting point and its cheap cost and availability rather than most of the other metals, such as gold. Now, throughout his childhood, we are talked about normal things, such as how does he deal with World War II, talks a bit about his house, and after that, he even talks about how during the war he had to go to this crazy boarding school where even the headmaster would spank his kids with a cane. This scared Oliver very much. Or he would be talking about chemistry. He would talk about his wonders with the light bulb, about if they were trying to use a very strong metal, why couldn't they use osmium, which was more stronger than tungsten itself. But this was a little too expensive. Or why didn't they use something else? Maybe perhaps carbon dioxide. But this as well was very hard to control, so wasn't very much of an option. Or he would be talking about flames. He would be talking about different color changes. For example, he would be talking about how if you add chlorine or if you add a pinch of salt to a stove, it would immediately turn the fire flickering to yellow. Or maybe the eye-killing red of radium. Or perhaps even the green of barium. Regardless, he was very interested in these sort of topics. And looking through the eyes of such a young child, we understand what he learns throughout his journey, such as math, chemistry, and things that he fears in the world around him, such as World War II. But all in all, we go back to the focus about chemistry, how it kept him together, how he focused. This is the story of Uncle Tungsten.